Well, let's try and fit in a game of blitz. Actually sat in the middle of the board there. Okay, 1982, good luck. Okay, that's an invitation to switch to a Sicilian when you play c5. Let's go pawn up. But it is 5 minutes, so no need to play too fast. So we're going for quick kingside castling. Conceding some centre ground. I think b4 is an interesting sack. So it really isolates this pawn. Let's do it. Probably play a pawn up, I would guess. Or it does actually take. This might give us some really nice development and a nice big target there. I mean, d4 is also a move, e3. Try and go solid and work on the pawn. Whether we get it is another matter, of course. How do I want to do this? I'm just going to go up one actually and develop the knight. Slowly and steadily does it. The knight across. I mean, pawn up is also fine in some of these lines. Let's play a knight over and trade one of the knights. Potentially trade one of the knights. Yeah, we don't really want to trade one of the knights, do we? Let's play across. The bishop can always drop back now if necessary. Okay. We could take first. Take, but I don't think we want to, do we? We don't want to. So, again, we can take an in. How do I actually do this? I'm just going to play rook across and line up a push. The whole point of the sack was to try and leave the pawn isolated. If I take the knight, the pawn can come across. I mean, there is knight in, but it's going to be difficult to do anything unless we can maybe get a pawn back here. But okay, so knight down, queen up I don't like. Knight across is a bit of a nuisance. I'm going to play knight this way instead. Try and jump into f5 maybe. Okay, so we have traded there. So now knight in is not an option, so we might as well come back unless that bishop waddles off somewhere. This is a slight technical problem, of course. I do take, we threaten to grab, so he trades, so I have to take back. No, the real move. Bishop across. Okay, so I've got queen over or queen right over. Does it matter? So I've got knight into f5 now as well to hit that bishop. Yeah, that's a nice nuisance move now. Now that that bishop has moved. We might even get a chance to sack you depending on what black does. Queen comes up, so is it a move? Takes. We hit this as well, but there's no other easy way in. So take back. Pawn up. I'm just going to take and maybe queen across, I think. Well, I guess I've got bishop up, haven't I? Yeah, it should win an exchange. Should get an exchange, but the pawn's important as well, but I think we want the rook. Okay, now queen up. Just check and collect, unless you block with a queen, of course. It does. So do we trade? Rook across, and I don't think you can defend the pawn. So I think just rook across. And we get our pawn back, the valuable extra pawn. Still a lot of work needed to try and win this. If you just keep a nice sensible structure, it's difficult to break down, of course, but if we could get both of the pawns, it takes a lot of pressure off. The queen's gone. So we've got chances. So the king comes up, we have to take. Might not get another chance. Now down and collect would be very nice. As long as the knight can't jump around to guard, I don't think can. then we can worry about switching sides. So we're just going to simply drop back and try and collect, which we've done. Okay, so is there any tricks here now? Like pawn forward could be good now. Try and open it up, not bog it down too much. Just make sure I don't get my rook actually physically trapped in. But right now I've got one square. Okay, well there I can give a pawn back to get rid of the bishop, and that just wins on the spot, I think, because the bishop's guarding the knight. So I think that's just a nice tactic to win the game. Very, very easy to miss that in it, but yeah. As soon as the bishop's gone, the knight defense collapses as well. Let's do a game review of this one. Oh, that worked really quickly. That was instantly, wasn't it? I didn't have to wait for anything there. We're just doing our very quick post-game review of this game. We played a pretty good game there. So the accuracy says 90 versus 82.3, and it gives us a game rating at 2450 versus 2200. Actually ran really, really quickly. That was pretty instantaneous. So let's start the review. So you can see my only blunder it flagged up was the move b4, which is kind of, you know, I knew it was not a brilliant engine move. It's just quite common to sack the b4 pawn in the reti opening. We can see a graph here, but my camera might actually obscure this. It shows you where the various moves were. So we were kind of a bit worse up to this point. We're actually worse here. You can see -2, but then we've turned it around for a pretty good win. So let's just see how it went. So obviously we took a risk in the opening, sacking the b4 pawn deliberately. So we ended up with a worse position. So another day, of course, it could easily have gone wrong. But we managed to turn it around with some good play and a little bit of luck along the way. So it was correct to take there. We won the exchange here. Then it was a decision, do we get the queen off? And I spotted if I do so, I can still win the b4 pawn back, which is why I played this way. And then as a bonus, we get the a3 pawn. We're just trying not to make sure that we get our rook obviously completely trapped in there, but I thought it was possible to escape. Once this move is made, you can suddenly see the king's not far off getting in, so you can suddenly see potential issues. There is a square here right now, though. And then our opponent makes a final blunder here, allowing us to deflect the king. So we can then take the bishop the next move, and the knight's not guarded, so that's going to win a piece. So that was actually a good game of blitz chess.